Russia is facing the harshest sanctions ever. But how are businesses being impacted? I'm being joined by Indians who are based out of Russia and will explain to us as to how difficult has it become in terms of payments, in terms of banking transactions. I'm being joined by Andy Katwani, who is a co-owner of the Imperial Tailoring Company, also very well known for the kind of textiles that they provide to the clientele here in Russia. Rakesh Kumar over here is representing a company that is one of the sole companies looking at exports and imports of shrimps and seafood, very critical in terms of India and Russia. And then we have Neeraj Shah, who is an economic analyst. He'll give us a larger picture of the macroeconomics involved in India-Russia trading after sanctions. Andy, let me begin with you. What are the difficulties? We know that a lot of Russia is now looking at going local, manufacturing within, stitching and buying within. We've seen all the international brands leaving. Is that advantage to your business, but certainly disadvantages to Russia?
See, Russia is trying to really rebuild itself, where they were never been very strong in manufacturing. So this is a chance for Russia definitely to invite lot of Indian businessmen to come and work in Russia. So this is the first thing what I understand, but it's nothing like this. Russia is willingly to work with India in all the terms. I would like to tell you that they are ready to work in any given business where Indians are ready to support them. So they have made an announcement. We have come across with different chamber of commerce back in Russia, some governor's office also, that how can we build up relations in pharmaceuticals especially. They want to ask Indian people that there are so many generic medicines which Russia do not produce, and how Indians can fulfill this place. So I would like to tell you, Russians are in fact coming back to us and offering us too many opportunities.
Right. There is an opportunity here, but there are difficulties. And we know companies that are suffering those difficulties because of transactions. Now, Rakesh, if you could tell us, what are the difficulties in the transactions, the banking systems, the financial institutions that now have been held hostage to the sanctions?
Well, I will say that our business is shrimps business, and most of the buyers, they was opening LCs, USD LCs. And the thing was, for example, they opened LCs in February, starting or middle of February. The container supposed to go, and suddenly this operation, you will say war, I will say operation, has started. And what effect has been done in the past, container was not released and LC was opened. So LC expired. Then buyer will pay us either advance and prepayment. So buyers is facing big problem to send us money. Only one bank, we heard that Sber Bank is working in Delhi and they are supporting us, but still last 2 days I was in St. Petersburg. Buyer says that no, it is a big problem because they are asking big commissions, and my company says that still Indian banks are not willing to work through this way.
Also, the fact that you work in the seafood industry, now that's a perishable product.
Yes.
You need refrigerators.
Yes.
Most of the refrigerators are from Europe, and they're not giving you the refrigerators
Yes.
for.
Correct.
How is that? How does that work out? Did you speak with your European counterparts? What are they saying?
Please trust me, my buyers, importers, and we are still, every day we are talking, requesting to the shipping liners. They actually avoid. Our product is a food product. Shrimps, seafood comes in the reefer containers, frozen containers, and shipping lines which belongs from Europe, America, they are the main, and they are not helping us. Until I think war will not stop, or some involvement will come through the government side, then they will start. in this present time, we are stuck totally.
Totally stuck. That's a very scary scenario because a lot of shrimp is imported from India, and his company, IFB, is basically looking into that one aspect. But Neeraj, the larger picture. Now we see that you being a consultant and financial consultant, the bigger picture over here of how are things going to get difficult for Russia or for businesses trying to work with Russia. Right now, we still see that Russia is resilient. We also know that Russia has handled sanctions in the past, but this time around it looks different.
See, definitely, if you talk in terms of economy and GDP, it will go down. I mean, this is around 10%. That is what estimates. Everybody is talking about, like governments and even the economists outside. So that is there. But if you look at, you see that the resources and the country's GDP per capita, because I believe in that. That is the real picture. You know, you can have a $3 trillion of GDP, but looking at the population of India, it translates to $2,000 only per capita. But here, even $1.6 trillion of economy, even if it goes down by 10% this year, okay. But if you look at the longer picture, which Russia is now looking at, believe me, people will suffer, but people are ready. He said, if my per capita GDP $11,000, $12,000, 10% it comes down, $1,000 if I lose on an average, it's okay, I'm ready. If for the long term benefit, like say Make in India kind of thing, in the same way they are also talking about. I see many of these Russian companies coming to me. I can tell you this, it's big companies. Before they were not even talking to us. They used to be, because too much with this Europeans. Now they are all coming back and telling, we want to be with India in what sense? It's not about only buying and selling. They said that we want to join India in making India as a hub. So I tell you that this is the biggest opportunity for India to be a hub, international hub, which a big country like Russia can provide with its own goods. Suppose some Russian companies or some Russian technology, they said, we'll produce in India. And from India you distribute or whatever as a Indian product.
You make a very important point.
This is what is
because this is an opportunity for Make in India, but a lot of companies, Neeraj, are a little reluctant because their companies could face sanctions. If they're an MNC, they have companies and partners abroad in Europe, so they could suffer too. But do you get a sense over here that maybe they're looking at Make in Russia as well? They're looking inwards, trying to look at manufacturing within?
Definitely they are looking into this. Like there's this Indian pharmaceutical companies which are already working in Russia. They are looking at now increasing that manufacturing, because they used to sell only 2-3 companies are already manufacturing. They are increasing it because Russia is now providing that this company, European companies are gone, and we are very happy with the quality of Indian generics are the best quality. So he said there is no problem about that. So that is where the manufacturing they want to give. Then many of these Russian region governors, they, because I am with this Indian Business Alliance, they come and they are talking as that, okay, if you want to come, because Russia is a big market. Russia is not only about Russia. Eurasian Economic Union, if you look at this, we can be when we are talking about, if I can make a small point, it's when we have this free trade agreement with UAE, Australia, mark my word, I am being on the record, it will not help much Indian small businesses at the small. It will only help Australian economy and the UAE to sell. Because what is the population of Australia? 25 million.
The market in India is bigger.
What is the population of UAE? 10 million. And what is our population? So it will be we will be importing. Like which has happened with the Korea-Japan free trade agreement. Is all steel materials is coming from them. But here, if you look at, if we go and, this is the time for Indian government to go. Russia is willing, Russia is offering them.